Okay, I wanted to give a garlic update video. It is February 15th right now, and this is significant because a year ago is when we planted the elephant garlic. And because of circumstances last year, we were not able to plant it in the fall like you were supposed to. We planted it in the spring. So we actually planted it on Valentine's Day weekend. And so the first 3 rows over here, these are the corm rows. And these were cloves here that were damaged, and we did not know if they were going to grow. So we kept them separate from all the other cloves. Obviously they're growing. And then, as you can see here, some of the corms are growing here. Obviously, in the scheme of things, it's still not a whole lot. The corms we soaked in a special solution. We planted in the house in a dirt mix for 2 months, and then we planted out here because elephant garlic corms are notorious for taking forever to grow. These are not corms, by the way, they're too big. But as you can see, there's a couple of corms here. So this was our first big trial run of the elephant garlic corms to see if these are going to be viable in the future. Because if we're going to do as much work, if not more, on these corms as we are the regular elephant garlic, but the yield is going to be significantly less, it's not going to be worth it. Now,
I just think it takes longer.
These 6 rows here, these are, except for a little bit on the last row, these are all elephant garlic. These were planted at the end of November, and so it's the middle of February now. So it's little more than 2.5 months, and this is the size that they are. So in essence, this is the head start that the garlic has from last year to this year. And so the hope is we're going to harvest them around the same time, which will be in May sometime, depending on when the, when they're harvested is 3 weeks after the scapes start popping up. So we didn't know that last year, so we kind of waited too long, but it was still okay. We went from 600 cloves to about 1,800 cloves in a truncated time when we really didn't know what we were doing. So I call that pretty much a success. This row right here, this is from Keen's garlic.
These are elephant.
These are all elephant garlic. Keen's is one of the big garlic growers, so Andrea wanted to buy some of their elephant garlic to see how it compared to all of my aunt's elephant garlic, which is all the elephant garlic here.
And to augment.
Then
this is Parisian Star.
Then this is Parisian Star garlic, because we wanted to try a different type of garlic. And you said that's a hardneck?
Yes, it's a hardneck.
And then this is green garlic.
And as you can see,
the green garlic is, this is going to be harvested probably around the end of the month. And green garlic is treated similar to green onions.
Yeah.
Where you just chop them up and you put them in whatever you want. Now the elephant garlic, if we get the same type of yield as we did last year, we have 2,400 cloves, not including the corms that we planted. So if we get the same yield as we did last year, we'll get about 7,500 cloves. And so if you translate that out, I want to ramp up to 6,000 planted a year. And so if you take that out, we can sell about 1,500 cloves. And so based off of that math, we could sell about maybe 500 bulbs or so. And, you know, we could get, you know, depending on the size and all that, you know, $1,000, $2,000 for that, which is not a lot, but we're still ramping up. Now, if I suspect, or what I suspect, these are going to be a lot bigger this year, which means we're going to have more cloves per bulb. So if we're averaging closer to 5 cloves per bulb instead of 3, then we could potentially make, you know, in an ideal circumstance, you know, maybe 5,000 or more selling and still keeping 6,000 for full production run next year. So all that's speculative, so we'll see what actuality is. Now, this half of the garden this year, except for maybe watermelon and the spaghetti squash and stuff, is probably going to be just fallow.
We have onions and carrots.
Yeah, we have a couple of rows that we're going to plant. We still have carrots and beets and potatoes and stuff that we got to put here. And then our summer crops, like our peppers and our tomatoes, and if we can actually grow zucchini this year and not get ate by the aphids. Was it aphids?
Squash bugs.
Oh, squash bugs, not aphids. Then they're going to be where the garlic is, because the garlic's going to be coming out in May sometime, and that's about the time, at least down here, we plant the other stuff, so we might as well just put it in the same spot. So most of this is going to be fallow, and so at least for the time being, we can keep the same amount of garden space and just start rotating stuff out, so we're not overproducing the same amount of stuff in the same spot year after year. So that's the theory, at least. But I wanted to show what the difference is so far between last year and this year. Now, also, this year we started out right by strawing the entire piece, which we did not do last year. And so this time of year it was okay, because as you can see where it's not strawed, the weeds have not really started growing yet. But give it about another month and the weeds are going to start being unbearable. And so by the time we actually got straw on this last year, if I was 100% strawing all of the garden last year, it was probably going to take me like 10 to 15 hours a week just for weeding maintenance. And that was in like April. So the straw, once we got the straw on, that significantly reduced the weed pressure. And so that was one big change we had from last year. And the good thing is, except for a few bales of straw, this was all the leftover straw that we had from last year, because we actually overestimated on the amount of straw that we used. So anyway.
Well, they've already got 8 leaves on them.
All right, and another thing on the side note, the new greenhouse is working out fairly well so far. We're going to have the first wind test tomorrow because we're under wind advisory. So we're supposed to have winds up to 25 miles an hour with wind gusts up to 50. So we will see how this actually fares tomorrow. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, but we shall see. So far, it's been really good. The guys over here are just having a good time. So, it's like they haven't been out in a month, and they've been out like 4 times already today. So anyway, just wanted to give a little garlic update, and it's amazing how much the garlic looks different than it did a year ago. Oh, and Andrea started counting leaves, and she said that at least some of the garlic already has 8 leaves on it, and she said that the garlic will typically get about 14, so it's already more than halfway there leaf wise. And so anyway, garlic update, day after Valentine's Day, and it's fairly warm, but it's kind of nasty out today, but at least it's not raining, so I'll give it that much credit. And so Andre's abusing the dog with the mail. So anyway, with that, and with Sherlock and Lady Pants digging, I will leave everybody to it.